Dew Ice made with a splash of real lemon juice. It's lemon lime dew that delivers a bold taste and gives you a kick of caffeine to keep you invigorated throughout your day. Tonight's opening tip-off presented by Nissan. On the court, it's the job of the defense to protect the rim. On the road, it's the job of the 2019 Nissan Rogue to help protect you with its available advanced safety technologies. Nissan, proud supporter of college athletics. Smith and Austin getting set to tip it off in the middle. D. Cantner puts it in the air. It's controlled back to Mikesell, and she will bring the ball down the floor. Penn State goes man for man on the near wing to Watson. Down low, a backdoor cut. All alone with the easy layup is Stephanie Jones. It's 2-0 in favor of the Maryland Terrapins. Here's Ortiz at the top of the circle, tries to penetrate, kicks it out to Amari Carter. Her long three-pointer is an air ball. Rebound pulled down by Watson. Watson down the floor to Mikesell. Mikesell back to Watson. Watson has range, does not take the three. Back to Mikesell to set things up. Mikesell, the freshman. On the far side to Watson again, looking inside to Jones, up over the top. And that's a tough matchup for Penn State with this four-guard lineup. They've got Charisma Ortiz trying to match up against Stephanie Jones, who's very athletic at 6'2".
And then you've also got Austin at 6'5" as well. It's a very tall lineup. Nobody under 5'11" for this Maryland squad.
Here is Ortiz at the top of the circle, 2-0 in favor of the Terrapins. Tania Page gets the ball to Carter. Carter thought about the three, kicks it off to Ortiz. Her three-pointer's up and good. And Charisma Ortiz hits her second three-pointer of the season. And Penn State takes the lead 3-2.
That's going to be big for the Lady Lions, the three-point shot.
There's a turnover on the wing as Kayla Charles doesn't handle the pass from Mikesell, and Penn State gets the ball back.
Frankly, Penn State has not been a great three-point shooting team in the non-conference, only 27.5% from beyond the arc. But if they can hit a few in this one, that'll be a big help.
Here is Saya Frazier, far side to Page. Page covered up quickly by Watson. Now to Carter. Carter covered by Mikesell. Now to Frazier. Frazier goes hard around the screen, takes it down the lane, puts it up. It does not fall. And Kayla Charles way above the crowd to pull down the rebound. 8:20 to play in the first quarter. Penn State up 3-2. Mikesell with the basketball at the center court circle. Covered by Page. Mikesell goes to the far side. Kayla Charles tries to drive on Frazier, and we're going to have a travel call. That's the right call by the official. Frazier went down a little bit early trying to draw the charge, and in doing so, forced the travel by Kayla Charles.
Yeah, a great job of fighting through the screen by Frazier to get in position to force that turnover.
Amari Carter brings the ball down the floor. Page goes across the top of the circle, now has it on the right wing. Drives to drive on Watson, cut off. Back outside to Carter. Carter to Frazier. Frazier will try a three. On the way, back of the iron, no good. Long rebound comes out to Jones. Jones gets the ball to Mikesell. Only 10 players dressed on this Maryland team as Kayla Charles just drives baseline. Nobody on the weak side to help, lays it up and in 4-3 in favor of Maryland.
That struck me too, Jerry.
Tania Page, three-point shot. That's off the mark. Rebound pulled down by Shakira Austin, the freshman. Off to the other freshman, Mikesell. Down the floor. Bounce pass down low to Charles. Charles muscles it up and in. 6-3 in favor of the Maryland Terrapins. Charisma Ortiz at the top of the circle. Puts it on the floor. Dribbles to the right side. Now back to midway between the rings to Frazier. Frazier to Ortiz. Ortiz gets a screen from Alicia Smith. The pick and roll is there. Smith has it blocked by two players. The ball's on the floor, and picking it up is Austin. Austin to Mikesell. Mikesell ahead to Watson. Watson, a lob pass down low to Kayla Charles. It's knocked out of bounds by Amari Carter.
Boy, was Alicia Smith wide open for a second there on the pick and roll, but Maryland closed very quickly on her to get the block shot. They had 12 of those last game against Delaware, did Maryland.
We should mention Jada Travasio-Green is dressed and could play if necessary, but they're probably not going to want to use her unless it's absolutely necessary. She hasn't played in quite a while. Foul down low as Austin went to the bucket, and Lauren Ebo, who checked in for Alicia Smith, picks up the personal foul.
Jada was big last year, had 5 threes in the game against Maryland. A near upset for the Lady Lions to start off Big Ten play last year.
Free throw by Austin is up, rattles home and good. And that's a quick substitution, about 30 seconds worth of playing time for Ebo. And Alicia Smith is right back in the game. 7-3 in favor of the Terrapins. Second free throw by Austin on the way. Back of the iron, no good. Ortiz with the rebound. Almost lost it, but gathers it in. Now down the floor to Carter. Throws it over her head and out of bounds. And Tania Page looks right at Charisma Ortiz and says, bring it up my side of the floor. And Ortiz nods in agreement. I think everybody would agree with that.
I believe so. I don't think Tania's had the ball once yet this game. Maybe once.
Well, she took one shot. It was not a good one. Here's Kayla Charles on the left wing. Down low to Jones. And the ball is, they're going to say that Amari Carter got a hand on it. And it'll stay in Maryland's hands. 6:26 to play. 7-3 in favor of the Terrapins. Mikesell will trigger the inbounds pass. Gets it into Watson. Watson on the right foul line, extending the three-point land. Now top of the circle to Austin. Austin puts it on the floor. Stepping in and stripping her is Tania Page. Page down the floor, and a foul is going to be called. Brenda Fries, who gets a little animated at times. Was not happy with the call, but Tania Page will go to the line to shoot two. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations along the network to identify themselves. This is Lady Lion basketball from Learfield. Tania Page makes the first free throw. She'll get the second. She was in the act of shooting. Her first point of the game. Second free throw on the way. Looks short, is short. And Kamaria McDaniel has checked into the game for Penn State. Down the floor quickly. Kyla Charles down, a little backdoor look, and a good job defensively, and Penn State comes up with it. Ahead of the pack is Kamaria McDaniel on a great pass from Tania Page, and she is fouled by Blair Watson. So that'll put Kamaria McDaniel at the free throw line to try to complete the old-fashioned three-point play with a score 7-6.
First miss of the game from the field for Maryland, and the Lady Lions take full advantage on the break. Great pass ahead to McDaniel, great positioning, and a chance to tie it up.
Shanice Lewis checks into the game for Blair Watson. Lewis, a 5'8 sophomore, very athletic, as literally every one of the players on this Maryland team are. That free throw is no good, so Penn State's missed their last two, and Jada Travasio Green to the scorer's table, and she will check in at the next break in the action. Lewis with the basketball, gets a screen from Austin. Carter stays right with her, gets over the screen. Jones comes over to set a pick. Now they've got a big mismatch inside with Jones being covered by Amari Carter. Here is the pick and roll. They go down low, and I'll tell you, a very athletic move by Jones to gather that in and put it up off the glass and good.
Not the best pass from Mikesell, but she's able to make the play nonetheless.
Kamaria McDaniel drives baseline. A lot of contact. Now to Smith. Smith goes down the lane, hangs in the air, throws up a wild shot. Rebound pulled down by Charles. Charles almost loses it, but gathers it back, drives down low, puts it up, no good, gets her own rebound, puts that up and in. That is what Maryland does. They are just so tenacious on the boards. Here's Alicia Smith ahead of the pack, tried to shoot the ball before she caught it off her hands and out of bounds. Good look by Tania Page. So a good round of applause for Jada Green as she comes into the game to replace Charisma Ortiz, and Alicia Smith gets another rest as Lauren Ebo comes back into the game.
It's been a long road back for Jada.
Brianna Frazier, who was in the starting lineup last year, is now a substitute. She comes in for Austin for the Maryland Terrapins. Penn State looks like they're going a little bit of a zone now, a little 2-3 zone. Here is Mikesell. Long three-point shot is no good. Oh, what a tip by Brianna Frazier. And a timeout is called by Coquise Washington. Wow, that was an incredible tip.
Absolutely.
I'm sitting here trying to figure out how to describe it, but I can't do it, so we'll just leave it at that. 4:46 to play in the first quarter. Maryland 13, Penn State 6. The Lady Lions have some work to do, but they've done it before, and we'll see if they can do it again. This is Lady Lion basketball from Learfield. Hey, folks, tonight's Mega Millions jackpot now has an estimated annuity of $348 million. $348 million. Play today. Pennsylvania Lottery proceeds benefit older Pennsylvanians every day. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. A lot of Big Ten action. This is the first opening night for women's basketball in the Big Ten. Ohio State losing to Purdue in Mackey Arena 60-42. Rutgers over Northwestern 45-41 in Piscataway. Michigan at Nebraska, Indiana at Illinois, and Wisconsin at Minnesota are the other games on the schedule tonight. Down low to Ebo. Ebo throws it across to Jada Green, back outside to Tania Page. Page uses a screen, goes to the free throw line. Kamaria McDaniel drives into the lane, draws contact, puts up the shot, draws the bucket. Nice move by Kamaria McDaniel with her athletic ability, coming right at the Maryland Terrapin defense. Penn State staying in the zone, in the lane, a little jump shot up and no good. Put up by Frazier. Frazier's miss. Jones with the rebound puts it back up and in.
11-2 the rebounds in favor of Maryland.
15-8, 3:58 to play here in the first quarter. Page hands to Carter. Carter goes around the screen to the top of the circle. Here's Jada Green. Three-pointer. How's that for your first shot after coming back from ACL surgery?
Hey, she has not lost a step.
So Penn State climbs to within 4, 15-11. Far side into the hands of Charles. Charles to Frazier. Frazier to Mikesell. Back to Charles on the left wing. Charles drives to the left elbow, puts up a shot, no good. Rebound is going to be a foul on Frazier as she hooked on the arm of Amari Carter as she was going for that rebound and picks up the personal foul. So that is the second against Maryland. Penn State has committed just one.
And Amari definitely got fouled there, but she did a great job attracting the referee's attention to that foul as well, going after the loose ball.
Ebo, Carter, Page, Travasio Green, and McDaniel on the floor for Penn State. Amari Carter to the right hash. Gets a screen from Ebo. Now to Page. Page looking inside. And I think they're going to keep a real close eye on Jada Green. Here's another three-pointer on the way. That one is no good. Ebo fights for the rebound and knocked out of bounds by Kyla Charles. Ed Sacavino almost falls on his face trying to pick up the basketball, but he gets it back to the referee. No offense, Ed, but that was pretty funny. Amari Carter lobs the inbound pass to McDaniel. Now to Page, setting up the offense, directing traffic. Amari Carter has it, goes around a couple of screens, top of the circle, back to Page. Page drives to the right elbow, takes it inside. McDaniel drives inside, hangs, little dish off the Ebo, off the glass and good. Way to draw the contact, or draw the attention, if you will, and then finding the open player underneath the basket.
That got the entire Lady Lion bench up on their feet and well-deserved. What a great pass.
15-13, Penn State climbs to within 2. In near corner, Kyla Charles. Down low to Frazier. Frazier double team. And a turnover as the pass was too hard for Austin to handle. Driving down the lane, putting up the jumper. No good is McDaniel. And then McDaniel steals the inbounds pass, or the outlet pass. And then a reverse layup around Austin off the glass and good. We're tied at 15 with 2:09 to play.
Kamaria McDaniel, such a burst of energy when she's on the court, and that's picture perfect. Those two examples of why.
High post to Frazier. Far side, Mikesell, three-point shot on the way. She's going to miss. Ooh, a little bit of looking at the Penn State bench with a little bit of a showboatmanship.
She was jawing at somebody, it looked like.
Sarah McMurtry got a big kick out of it. Here's Frazier driving inside. That's a walk.
Yes, that's absolutely a walk.
Holy mackerel. Anyway, the score is 18-15 as back the other way comes Penn State. McDaniel, three-point shot, no good. Long rebound out to Jada Green. Jada waits, gets the ball into the hands of Tania Page to set things up. Saya Frazier and Charisma Ortiz have been at the scores table for quite a while trying to get in the game. There hasn't been a stop. Here's Jada Green, top of the circle, just to the left of the top of the circle. Now Alicia Smith comes over. Amari Carter tries to get away from her defender, puts up a shot, no good. Long rebound comes out to Austin, off to Mikesell. Mikesell and Charles down the lane. Charles inside, partially blocked by McDaniel. She's all over the floor. Back the other way is Page. Penn State down by 3, under a minute to play in the first quarter. Carter with it. Dribbles to the near side. Hands it to McDaniel. McDaniel sheds the screen, goes one way, then the other, and then just fires up a shot, gets her own rebound, and comes right into her lap, and she lays it up and in. It's a one-point game, 18-17. Kyla Charles will take the 15-footer. No good. Long rebound, and Tania Page comes up with it. Behind the back dribble, 28 on the shot clock, on the game clock. Page down the lane with the left hand up and in. 20 seconds to play, and Penn State has a 19-18 lead.
What a run for these Lady Lions here, and they've come with a lot of energy the last 3 minutes of this quarter.
10 seconds to play in the quarter. Kyla Charles, Tania Page is going to get called for a blocking foul. Kind of stuck her body out. If she'd have just stayed parallel, or what's that called? Vertical.
Vertical.
I think she would have been all right. Whole bunch of substitutions into the game. Ebo, McDaniel, and Jada Green out. So it's Smith, Carter, Page, Ortiz, and Frazier on the floor. Mikesell, nice defense by Alicia Smith. Great defense by Alicia Smith. Brianna Frazier says, I didn't touch it, but they're going to say the ball went off of Frazier on that good defensive play. And now Jada Travasio Green is going to come back in the game as they go defense for offense. Somebody's got to come out of the game.
Yeah.
Can't play with 6.
Right now they've got 6. No power plays in basketball.
They finally get Charisma Ortiz's attention, and she will check out. 6 seconds remaining in the first quarter. 5 seconds. Mari Carter down the floor. Pull-up jumper from 18 is good, and Penn State goes to the second quarter with a 21-18 lead over the 4th-ranked Maryland Terrapins here at the Bryce Jordan Center. And Joe, the thing I'm noticing, there is no fear in Penn State's heart right now.
No fear, lots of energy. This is the most pumped up the Jordan Center has been this year, I'd venture to say.
1 quarter in, 3 to go. Penn State with a 21-18 lead. It's all because of the honorary coach, you know.
That's
I
right.
Thought I'd throw it. We'll tell you about that in a second. We'll be back. Second quarter action coming your way. This is Lady Lion basketball from Learfield. For the halftime show, brought to you by the PA Turnpike. Being safe on the PA Turnpike is no accident. Drive in the right lane, pass on the left, and in case of an emergency, always be aware of your mile marker. Don't forget the keys. Those are the keys to safety. You expect Maryland to respond, and if they do, Penn State has to respond, and that's what happened last year's game, Joe. They kept going back and forth at each other.
Absolutely, and what was big, too, for the Lady Lions in the first quarter, they forced 6 Maryland turnovers. Terrapins only turn the ball over an average of 16 times a game. That's one area where they aren't among the league or the nation's leaders. They're about even in turnover margin for the year.
Penn State with Travasio Green. Here's Tania Page driving down low, gets right around Blair Watson and lays it up and in. And a travel is called on Mikesell because Sia Frazier stepped up and challenged the inbounds pass and forced another turnover, as you were saying, Joe.
And you were saying, Jerry, at the end of the first quarter, no fear from these Lady Lions. Tania Page going straight at the rim. Sia Frazier going straight at Taylor Mikesell. They're going to bring it to the Terps.
Inbounds pass to Frazier. Frazier takes it towards the top of the circle, looks for some help, and then crossover dribble, takes it down, no good, battle for the rebound. And I was going to say Frazier was out of bounds when she came in to grab that rebound, so the ball will go over to the Maryland Terrapins.
Yeah, got to get both feet back in to reestablish herself. She didn't.
Kyla Charles takes the inbounds pass, gives it to Mikesell. Mikesell covered by Frazier. Ortiz covering Charles. Top of the circle, Jones. Oh, what a great play by Sia Frazier. Being chased by Jones, lays it up and in. Penn State 25, Maryland 18, 9.5 to play in the second quarter.
And that was a 2-on-1, and who was there with Sia? Jada Travasio Green. I don't think she's feeling any ill effects right now, even with that brace on her leg.
Mikesell with the dribble. Still dribbling around. Now gets it to, there's a pass down low to Brianna Frazier. Sometimes their height is going to get you, and that's what happened right there. Far side, Frazier. Frazier all alone on the far side. Jada Green steps in, almost gets the jumper to fall, and there's going to be a foul. I think it's on Kyla Charles. It is. Charles picks up her first personal foul. And Jada Green will go to the line to shoot a pair. 9:03 to play second quarter, 25-20. The Lady Lions with the lead.
If that shot had gone in for Jada Travasio Green, I might have jumped up out of my chair.
First free throw by Jada Green. Little line driving low, but hits the front of the rim, the back of the rim, and falls in. Tania Page gets her first rest. So it's Frazier, Ortiz, Travasio Green, Smith, and Carter. Penn State will come out man for man this time. 27-20 Penn State with the lead. Mikesell being hassled by Sia Frazier. Down low they go to Jones. Jones puts up the shot, no good, battling for the rebound, blocked a couple times, and then there's Frazier, who's just bigger than everybody, and puts it up about 3 or 4 times. And finally, who's got it? Alicia Smith has it ahead to Green. Green pass to Ortiz, and she's going to walk.
Yep.
Too bad. She was all alone and took one extra step. And I'll tell you what, I like the fact that they're letting them play, because they could have called a foul or two on any one of those attempted putbacks by Maryland, but they did not.
And a great job officially 0 for 3, all inside of 3 feet for Maryland on that trip down the floor. For Penn State to be able to get them to perform that poorly on a trip down the floor, that's a testament to Penn State and what they've been able to do on defense here tonight.
Mikesell brings it up slowly against the man-for-man pressure from Sia Frazier. Mikesell brings it to the near hash mark, picks up her dribble, now to Frazier, and there's the lob pass down low to Austin. Blocked by Ebo, picked up by Smith, and here comes Penn State back the other way. Amari Carter driving, puts up a shot, no good. Ebo with the rebound. She is fouled by Frazier. Brenda Friese's husband is more animated than she is, believe it or not. He's sitting in the first row behind the team. Shanice Lewis to the scores table. Kamaria McDaniel also to the scores table as Lauren Ebo goes to the free throw line. That shot never got to the rim and just touched the front edge and falls short.
You know, in baseball now, they talk a lot about launch angle. Lauren Ebo has a unique launch angle to her shots. Maybe she has to increase it just a tad on this next attempt.
Second free throw on the way. Back of the iron, no good. Kamaria McDaniel with a one-handed snatch the rebound out of the air. Tania Page was going to check in. Now she goes back to the bench. Amari Carter directing traffic. Far side to McDaniel. McDaniel to Smith. Smith to Frazier. And what do we have? We have a travel. I think Kyla Charles got a hand on the ball and forced the turnover on Alicia Smith. So Penn State goes with a bigger lineup until now as Tania Page checks in for Lauren Ebo. By the way, that honorary coach is my wife. That's why I threw that out there earlier.
Great to see Andrea out there getting honored before the game.
Blair Watson with the basketball. She'll take a three-pointer, top of the circle, no good. Rebound by McDaniel. McDaniel racing down the floor, cross court to Page. Page wisely does not force the shot, sets things up. 27-20, Penn State by 7. Page tries to drive, nowhere to go, and here's a drive by Kayla Charles, and they're going to say that Kamaria McDaniel got her on the top of the head, and that'll be a foul on McDaniel, and Kyla Charles will go to the line to shoot a pair.
Well, that won't count as a miss, but the Terps have missed their last 5 shots from the field, and looked like Charles had a free lane, but nice job by McDaniel to get down there, alter the shot. Unfortunately, she altered the noggin as well.
Charles been on the free throw line more than anybody for Maryland, 54 times. She's 83%. First free throw on the way, and no good. And Ebo will come back into the game for Alicia Smith. So Charles will get the second free throw. Penn State by 7, 7:28 to play in the second quarter. Second free throw is good, and Penn State will come back the other way. Tania Page has on the left side. Penn State quickly in transition. Page has the dribble, but it will hand it to Carter. And Amari Carter brings the ball midway between the circles. Ebo trying to post up, cannot. Now Frazier has it. Frazier drives inside, puts it up. No, a foul will be called. And Austin twisted an ankle. Shakira Austin is limping behind the basket. And the foul goes on Kyla Charles. That is her second.
Frazier with 2 as well for Maryland. And this is a team that, again, I said before the game, they only have 10.6 free throws shot against them, attempted against them per game. Penn State's already on number 8.
Frazier's free throw is up and good. 28-21, Penn State by 7. Kyla Charles will check out. Stephanie Jones is in there. It's Watson, Mikesell, Lewis, Austin and Jones for Maryland. For Penn State, it is now Travasio, Green, Ebo, Frazier, McDaniel, and Page. Frazier at a little better than 70%. Second one is up and no good. Rebound by Austin. For Austin, that's rebound number 7 already. Lewis with the dribble. Brings it to the near side. McDaniel with good defense, really causing her some problems. Now gets it out to Watson. Watson back to Lewis. Shot clock at 13. Penn State fans are feeding off this defensive pressure Penn State is using. Mikesell drives on Frazier. Frazier blocks the shot, and they're going to say got her with the body. Boy, that was a tough call.
Very tough, but boy, Kamari McDaniel, and she whittled off 15 seconds off the shot clock all by herself with the pressure on Lewis. He was hacking away at the ball as well out near the half-court stripe, but
Mikesell 81% free throw shooter. Free throw on the way and rolls around and good. 28-22, 6:41 to play second quarter. And Penn State will go big again as they bring Alicia Smith in along with Ebo, McDaniel, Travasio, Green, and Page. Second free throw by Mikesell is up and good. You expect a three-point shooting champion to make good free throws.
he would.
Penn State by 5. Amari Carter back to the scorer's table for Penn State. Kamari McDaniel. They want to go to Smith. Smith has it midway between the circles, hands it to Page. 15 on the shot clock. Ebo looking for the ball. Here's McDaniel. Down low to Smith. Good position inside. Blocked by Austin. And that ball, you either got to, that's a walk. Thank you. Again, Kamari McDaniel steps up, and before they put the ball on the floor, they shuffle their feet to get away from. Alicia Smith's got to be stronger than that. She's either got to draw a foul or make the bucket.
Exactly, and she did a good job tearing away from Jones, but then Austin able to just swat that shot right behind her.
Penn State by 5, 28-23, 6:08 to play in the second quarter. McDaniel to Page. Page, pull-up jumper on the baseline is good. 30-23, Penn State by 7, 5:56 to play in the second quarter.
Every time Maryland's been able to score here in the second quarter, Penn State's had a response.
Shanice Lewis looks to drive, cannot. Now to Mikesell. Mikesell got open on a screen. A long rebound after the jumper is out. And that leaves Stephanie Jones underneath the basket all alone. Lays it up and in on a good pass. Travasio Green back outside to Page. Back at the other end of the court just like that. Page says, I'll take a long three. That is no good. And Austin, way up in the air, pulls down another rebound. That is number 8. Lewis with it. Jones ducks in, can't get open. They go down low to Austin. She's double-teamed, still double-teamed. They kick it out. Mikesell all alone for 3. That is good, 30-28. And the double down I get, but you can't leave Mikesell alone. And sometimes you just have to pay for doubling down on the bigger players.
Yep, of all people to leave open, you have a three-point shooter shooting over 41%.
Tania Page with the dribble, bounce pass to Smith near the top of the circle. Now to McDaniel. McDaniel down low to Ebo, missed a wide open layup. Rebound pulled down by Maryland. Maryland looks to tie. Mikesell drives inside, underhand scoop shot around McDaniel is good. We're tied at 30, 4:35 to play in the second quarter.
Well, now Maryland's starting to put their run together again, going back at the Lady Lions.
You knew it was going to happen.
Oh, yes.
Page with the dribble, gets a screen from Smith, looking for the pick and roll. Ebo is open down low, same spot, missed the rebound again. And a rebound by Smith is put up, and this time is fouled by Osler for Maryland. Second free throw by Alicia Smith is no good. Rebound by Austin, of course. Here is Blair Watson, wide open 3. That is good. 33-31 now in favor of the Terrapins. Tania Page down the floor. Shanice Lewis picks her up. Midway between the rings to Ortiz. Ortiz hands it to Page on the right wing. Page goes around the screen to the left elbow, down the lane, puts up a soft jumper off the left hand, off the glass, and good. Tania Page, boy, that left hand of hers is incredible. Tied at 33, 3:34 to play. Lewis with the dribble. Kamari McDaniel will check in at the break. Here's Lewis driving, nowhere to go. Looks for help, finds Stephanie Jones on a backdoor cut, lays it up and in.
That was a nice job by Jones to get open for her inside because she had no other options.
Sia Frazier drives inside, puts up a jumper too strong. Rebound by Austin. Austin now has 10 rebounds. Down the floor, Mikesell in traffic, puts up a prayer, no good. Tania Page not tall enough, basically, and the putback by Watson is no good. Batted outside, and Maryland maintains possession. Watson with it. Watson drives, spins on Frazier, puts up a shot, partially blocked, I believe, by Smith. Rebound by Frazier. Down the floor to Page. Page, little to 18-foot jumper on the left side is up and good. 35-35, 2:40 to play here in the second quarter.
And what a great head fake and dribble fake to get Lewis, to shake Lewis off and get the shot away.
Page now with 11 points in double figures. Far side to Lewis. Frazier knocks it out of her hands and gets it back. Now to Mikesell. Mikesell gets a screen from Austin, goes around the screen, throws up a teardrop, no good. Amari Carter battling, and they're going to say it went off of Carter. And Travasio Green and McDaniel in, Ortiz and Frazier out. Coach Washington doing a good job keeping fresh legs on the floor. There's a pass down low to Austin. Austin left alone, lays it up and in. That can't happen on an inbounds pass.
No.
37-35, just over 2 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Travasio Green hands the ball to Page. Page around the screen, had Smith all alone. Amari Carter, open three in the corner, no good. Smith battling for it, keeps it alive. Ball is still alive. Page comes up with it. Cale Sanderson would have been pleased with a couple of those moves. But the ball comes into a tie-up, and the alternate possession will belong to Maryland.
Alas, if only you could score points that way here on the wooden floor.
They get the ball into Mikesell. Mikesell has played every minute of this game so far. Here's Austin and traveled with the basketball. Good call by the official on the far side. That is Talisa Green. Kevin Pethel, Talisa Green, and the aforementioned Dee Cantner. The three officials calling the game today.
Good crew for the Big Ten opener.
Carter brings it down, hands it to Page. Page to Travasio Green near the center court circle. Hands it to McDaniel. McDaniel to Page. Open three on the way. Good. She knew it was in when she let go of it. You could just see the gate going back the other way. And a quick timeout is called by Brenda Freeze as Penn State retakes the lead, 38-37 with 1:19 to play. It'll be a 30-second timeout, but Tania Page with 14 points, once again being the leader of this Penn State team.
I think I said early on, as she touched the ball, she's definitely touched the ball now, driving to the hoop, hitting the outside shot, and you're right, Jerry, she knew as soon as she released that shot, it was headed through the net, even with Frazier jumping past her, trying to alter the shot, unable to, is Tania Page once again showing that great form and showing why she's one of the best in the country.
Penn State comes out with McDaniel, Page, Smith, Travasio Green, and Carter. Jones, Austin, Mikesell, Lewis, and Watson on the floor for the Terrapins. Pretty good screen set by Watson, gets Lewis, now picked up by Tania Page. Lewis drives around, puts it up and in. Got around Travasio Green that time. And if there's an area that Jada might be a little still not quite there yet, it might be at the defensive end.
Yep.
Page with the basketball. Takes it to the right side. Hands it to Carter. Carter goes around the screen. Hell, they had Smith again. Here's Travasio Green. A deep three on the way, no good. And Alicia Smith goes down as she and Austin got tangled up. 39-38, 38 seconds to play in the first half. Lewis takes the ball to the far side. Now Mikesel open, three-pointer, top of the circle, off the mark, no good. Tanaya Page with the rebound. 25 on the clock. The shot clock is off. Penn State can hold for one. And it looks like that's what they're going to do. They're going to put four players across the baseline from sideline to sideline. And Page is going to go one-on-one with Watson. Here's Kamari McDaniel, three-point shot on the way and good as the buzzer sounds. 41-39. Kamari McDaniel will start the second half. Lauren Ebo will be in the starting lineup in place of Charisma Ortiz, going with the bigger lineup. It will be Carter, Ebo, Frazier, Page, and Smith. And the starting five for Maryland is Austin, Charles, Mikesel, Watson, and Jones. Penn State with the basketball to start the second half. Carter goes around a screen, down low to Smith. Smith in traffic, draws a foul. Either Jones or Charles, and it will be Jones picking up the personal foul. Tough call there.
Fortunate.
We'll take it.
Yes. If it had been on Charles, it would have been her third.
Smith 1 for 2 from the line this evening, now 1 for 3. The best free throw shooter on the team. Having a little issue with it here this evening so far.
Penn State just 5 of 12 from the line as a team.
Second free throw is good. 3-point lead for Penn State, 42-39. Mikesel takes the inbounds pass. In the backcourt, covered man for man by Sia Frazier. To Austin at the left elbow, now to Mikesel. Mikesel goes around a couple of screens, now to Austin. Austin in the lane, having trouble. Ooh, Frazier almost had a steal. Shot clock under 10. Mikesel driving down the lane, puts up a shot, and it goes in, and they're going to call a foul on Sia Frazier. So Frazier picks up the personal foul, allowing Mikesel. She likes to go right.
And they've done a pretty good job, have the Lady Lions, whoever the primary ball handler has been, whether it's been Mikesel, whether it's been the sophomore Shanice Lewis, they've been all over the point guard. But that time, Mikesel able to drive and shot really more a hope and a prayer, but it went in.
2 for 2 from the line, make it 3 for 3, and we're tied at 42 with 9:24 to play. Quickly down the floor, Frazier has it. Pull-up jumper from 10, and that's a foul on Kyla Charles. She doesn't believe it, but Kevin Pethel says you got her on the wrist, so Sia Frazier goes to the line to shoot a pair.
Man, dodged a bullet last trip down the floor. Charles not guilty of the foul, but she is guilty for her third on this trip down.
So your all Big Ten player picks up her third personal foul. That gets Shanice Lewis to the scorer's table, and Sia Frazier knocks down the free throw. First one, she'll get a second. 43-42 Penn State. Second free throw by Frazier is good. 44-42, 9:20 to play in the third quarter. Blair Watson gets it up to Lewis. Lewis into the front court. Waits for her teammates to come down the floor. Sets up the offense. Left foul line extended. Wants to go to Austin and does. Austin puts it on the floor, and before the shot, you're going to have one of those crazy little touch fouls that they call.
Yeah.
You put two hands on, you're going to get called for the foul automatically, even though it doesn't displace at all. Here comes Watson through the lane. Now Austin tries to get open. Cannot. Now out to Mikesel. Mikesel picked up by Page. Cut off nicely by Page. Here is Jones. Backdoor cut to Mikesel. Puts it down on the floor. No good. Austin with the rebound and the putback. And it's 44 all with 8:53 to play. Tanaya Page quickly down the floor. Gets a screen from Ebo. Goes around the screen. Down low to Smith. Smith in traffic. Doesn't get the shot to fall. And then the ball's knocked off the leg of Ebo and it goes out of bounds. It'll be Maryland basketball. Penn State is getting the position inside they want with Austin's presence. They're just not able to convert.
Nope. They've been really. Austin has 11 rebounds, but she really has not been a factor aside from her rebounding prowess in this game.
Here is Watson, an illegal screen called on Austin this time as she was trying to free up Watson. And Austin picks up her second personal foul, and Jada Green will check into the game. And Alicia Smith will check out. So Ebo, Carter, Page, Travasio Green, and Frazier. Austin checks out. Brianna Frazier back in. Brianna Frazier is not what you would call a finesse player, which is a little different type of player than the freshman Austin is. Here's Frazier at the top of the circle. Tania Page on the far wing. Drives baseline, cut off nicely. Back out to Jada Green. Three-point shot on the way, halfway down and out. And Saya Frazier comes in and hits Meisel from behind and picks up the personal foul. Easy call there.
It was. You talk about crashing the board. That's what Saya Frazier was doing there, and unfortunately he was a little out of control.
Brought a chuckle between Dee Cantner and Coquise Washington, and quickly Kamari McDaniel checks into the game for Penn State to replace Saya Frazier, who picked up her third.
I think Kamari was the key player in the first half for the Lady Lions as well.
Here's a drive to the basket. Tania Page does great job defensively, forcing the missed layup. Rebound by McDaniel. McDaniel, cross-court pass to Jada Green. Amari Carter, three-point shot off the mark, no good. And ball goes out of bounds. Well, she's been red hot from three-point land, but she's struggling a little bit today. Carter now 0 for 3 from beyond the arc.
Great ball movement there by the Lady Lions, but when Amari gets heated up, she really can heat up.
Plenty of time for that.
Oh, yes.
Lewis with the dribble. McDaniel with the defense, man for man. Meixel on the right foul line extended. Down low to Jones. Jones, left-hand jump hook over Travasio Green is good, and they have retaken the lead, 46-44, meaning they, the Maryland Terrapins. Carter with the dribble to the far side. Jones doing a nice job denying the basketball to Jada Green. Now Carter goes back the other way. Tania Page in the far corner will put up a tough shot, and it's good. 47-46, Penn State retakes the lead by 1, under 7 to play.
Sometimes you just can feel it. I guess that's what happened to Tania.
Alicia Smith back to the scorer's table. McDaniel with the defense on Lewis. Lewis gets around McDaniel and kicks it back far corner to Watson, around to Meisel. Three-point shot is short. Rebound pulled down by McDaniel. Off to Page. Page behind the back dribble. Lost the basketball and then gets knocked over by Lewis. And Lewis is going to get called for the foul.
That's a good call. Really good call there, because even though Page was hemmed in, she had 5 black jerseys surrounding her. You can't just knock her down when she's going after the basketball, and that's what Lewis did.
So Penn State will inbound underneath their own basket. That is the 4th team foul against Maryland already. So from here on out, barring player possession fouls, Penn State will be shooting. McDaniel, inbounds pass. Now to Page, around to Travasio Green, down to Smith. Smith, open inside again, cannot convert. Penn State getting good position inside and unable to convert on those close-in shots. 6:15 to play. Lewis brings it to the near side. Foul line extended. Wants to go to Frazier. Does. Frazier has it blocked by Smith. Smith, however, drawing the body contact, and that will be a foul on Alicia Smith. That'll be her first. 47-46. Penn State with a 1-point lead. 6:09 to play in the third quarter. Both teams now with 4 fouls, as this is a foul-happy third quarter. Frazier's free throw on the way and no good. Score remains 47-46 in Penn State's favor. Frazier takes the ball from the official after some laundry duties by Tania Page. Tucking the shirt tail in. Second free throw is good. We're tied at 47. And Penn State moving left to right as we look down on the Bryce Jordan center floor. Carter with it. Page comes to the near side and has it. Covered by Blair Watson. Page to the free throw line. Gets Watson in the air. Puts up a little soft jumper and good. 49-47. Tania Page now with 19 points.
And that was a methodical, planned out shot there by Tania Page. She took her time, got exactly the look she wanted.
Mikesell takes it to the far side. Page cuts her off and draws the offensive foul on Mikesell. Great defense by Tania Page. And in chatting with her a couple of weeks ago, she was saying, I'm getting really tired because I'm playing a lot more defense than I used to play.
Well, so often, we talk about her offensive prowess, and it's well-deserved, but her defense has been an underrated aspect of her game, but she's devoted a lot of attention to it.
Without a doubt. Carter with the dribble. Lewis comes out to challenge her at the center court circle. Now Carter goes to the far side. Now back this way to Page. Page to Travasio Green. Quick three-point shot is up, no good. Rebound pulled down by Frazier. Frazier off to Lewis. 49-47, Penn State by 2, 5:05 to play third quarter. Lewis thought about driving, cut off by McDaniel. McDaniel into the hands of Jones, looking for the lob to Frazier, who's upset that she didn't get the ball. And then we have a traveling call on Jones as she took a pass. Kyla Charles back in the game for Maryland. Tania Page, Lauren Ebo, Alicia Smith, Kamaria McDaniel, and Amari Carter on the floor for Penn State. Penn State working the ball around the perimeter. Interesting what's going on here, but Tania Page just creates an opening and hits a three-pointer. They looked like they were completely out of whack, so says Tania goes, I'll make it.
That's twice now. She's just waited for the screener, and there's kind of a muddle for a few seconds, and then Tania releases the shot, and it goes in.
5-point lead for Penn State, 52-47. Penn State goes zone this time to kind of change things up. They move the ball around to Lewis near corner. Lewis wants to go to Frazier, can't get it in there. Long cross-court pass to Charles. Charles drives inside, and the athletic Charles puts it up off the glass and in. Tania Page back the other way. On the left wing, gets a screen from Ebo. Boy, just get the feeling that if she throws it up, it's going to go in. Alicia Smith comes out to set a screen for McDaniel. From the left elbow, McDaniel, soft touch. Halfway down and out. Rebound pulled down by Jones. Off to Lewis. Lewis to Charles. Charles steps inside, dumps it off nicely to Frazier, lays it up and in. Penn State got a little lazy that time getting back. 52-51, Penn State by 1. Page, three-point shot. That's off the mark, no good. Long rebound to Lewis. Lewis ahead of the pack to Charles. Great catch of an incredible pass. Charles looking for help. Kicks it out to Mikesell. Mikesell's three-point shot is no good. Long rebound out to McDaniel. McDaniel with Lewis back. Pull-up three on the way, and good. Kamaria McDaniel feeling it, knocks it down, and Penn State has a 4-point lead, and McDaniel now with 14.
She has no fear in any aspect of her game tonight.
2:52 to play here in the third quarter. And a good defense by Amari Carter after getting picked off, and again, there's the youth on the inside, where Lauren Ebo never rotated around after the pick was set, and Carter did everything she could but had to foul Charles on the layup.
And Kyla Charles, all Big Ten last year. Preseason all Big Ten again this year. Might be an All-America candidate. But she's had a tough time against the Lady Lions. Last year here at the BJC, she went 1 for 11 from the floor.
And that free throw barely got to the rim. She has 9 points. Blair Watson in, and Mikesell gets her first rest of the night.
It's amazing, a freshman playing every minute of the game until this point.
Second free throw is good, 55-52. One thing about this is that Penn State has more depth. Penn State got away with a double dribble.
Yep, Charisma Ortiz.
Kamaria McDaniel tries to drive, cut off nicely by Lewis. Back outside to Page. Page almost near the center court circle. Now to Ortiz. Ortiz puts it on the floor, hands it to Page. Page head fake one way, then the other, goes around. They go down low to Smith. Smith in traffic, can't get the shot to fall. McDaniel with the rebound, and a foul is called on Lewis. Lewis will pick up her second personal foul.
I feel like tonight I don't have enough good things to say about Kamaria McDaniel. The way she flew in
run
there.
out of superlatives sometimes.
I mean, 7 rebounds in this game. She has been all over the floor and chipping in pretty much everywhere.
Free throw on the way and good, 56-52. Penn State by 4, 2:19 to play in the third. Second free throw by McDaniel on the way. And good again. Penn State by 5. McDaniel, Smith, Ebo, Page, and Ortiz on the floor. I think Penn State has more depth than Maryland, and that could play a factor in this. We're not, as you mentioned, Mikesell playing almost the whole game. Kyla Charles, jumper from the elbow, no good. Oh, you got to call a foul on that. There's a rebound by Blair Watson, who kicks it all the way out to Lewis.
A lot of contact.
Watson came flying in from outside, and now we have a foul called. Oh. And they're going to call that on Kamari McDaniel,
who got a shoulder on the screen from Brianna Frazier.
Again, Frazier's not known for her finesse.
It may not be the most elegant game, but it can be effective.
Lewis at the free throw line. Only 3 of 6 on the season. Misses the first. Frazier in. McDaniel checks out as Kamaria picks up her second.
Not a glittering performance at the free throw line for either team. Maryland now 7 of 12. Penn State 10 of 17.
Second free throw is no good again. Ebo pulls the rebound away from Jones. Ortiz down the floor. Near corner, Frazier. Frazier puts it on the floor, kicks it, tries to kick it back outside. And that's great defense by Blair Watson, dropping down from the top of the circle to get a hand on the ball and force the turnover.
Seen the Lady Lions do that a lot in this game. Maryland turning the tables a bit.
Only the 7th turnover on Penn State. That's pretty good. Lewis with the dribble. Top of the circle to Charles. Charles driving on Ortiz. Spins in the lane. Lays it up and in and fouled by Smith.
What a move.
Well, that's why she's an All-American.
Yep.
Taking the youngster Ortiz to school on that one a little bit.
Yeah, that is a matchup that is definitely in Maryland's favor.
57-54, Penn State by 3, 1:31 to play. Charles at the line, 2 of 4, make it 3 of 5, and it's a 1-point game, 57-55, I'm sorry, 2-point game. Ortiz with the dribble, out near the center court circle. They got a great matchup if you're Penn State. They've got, and Saya Frazier spins right back into a double team. And the alternate possession will go to Maryland. You've got to realize when you're on the low block like that, if you take the time to turn and spin, somebody's going to be coming in from the weak side.
And especially with a team like Maryland that knows how to clog up the middle.
Penn State goes zone. Here is a drive by Charles, and they're going to call another foul. It's going to be against Ebo, and she says, "What did I do?"
Well, Maryland's offense at this point is give the ball to Kyla Charles, have her drive the right side of the lane, and put up a shot. And it's been effective as well.
Carter and McDaniel to the scorer's table to check in. 57-55. Charles with 2 free throws coming. Just completed a 3-point play a few moments ago and misses the first free throw. 57-55 it remains. 58 seconds remaining in the third period. Frazier and Ortiz out. Carter and McDaniel in for Penn State. Ebo playing with 3. Still on the floor. Second free throw is on the way and good. 1-point game. And Amari Carter brings the ball down the floor. Penn State has numbers if they can take it down low. Oh, Alicia Smith is not ready for a perfect pass from Amari Carter, and it goes off her hands and out of bounds.
That is a costly fumble right there. That was a wide open shot for her if she handles that cleanly.
So Maryland has a chance to take the lead with 45 seconds to play in the third period. Lewis down the floor, takes it to the far side. Now brings it back up to the center court circle. Penn State. Kyla Charles will take a 15-foot jumper, no good. Alicia Smith, strong rebound. 28 seconds to play. Penn State will hold for 1 for the time being. And it looks like that is what Coach Washington wants them to do. Lewis comes out to challenge Page. 15 seconds on the clock. Page with the dribble, Lewis with the defense. Page, pull-up jumper on the way. Could have been a foul called on that play. And Coach Washington wants the foul to be called. Kevin Pethel says no, and that's a tough call. That's a really tough call.
I think that may be the first time I've seen a play like that.
Not
tonight, not called, yeah.
And Tania Page forces a travel.
Wow.
So Penn State will now have 1.5 seconds to go. And I'll tell you what, I think there should be more time on the clock than 1.5.
I think you're right, but Dee Kantner might have had a late whistle there. She saw the contact, but just a half second late on the whistle.
Watch the lob to Amari Carter here, although it's tough with Blair Watson in front of her. Into Carter. Carter's jumper on the way. No good. It goes out of bounds, and it'll be Penn round. But the townspeople have come out in good force here tonight.
Absolutely. I do want to, fair amount of red over there behind the Maryland bench as well, but making the one of the shorter trips for them in the Big Ten. But great crowd on hand, and their energy level has been up pretty much this whole game.
Carter, McDaniel, Ebo, Smith, and Page on the floor for Penn State. 18 on the shot clock. 9:43 on the game clock. Carter goes around the screen, takes it near side to Page. Page covered by Charles. Gets a screen to the left elbow, or the right elbow, I beg your pardon. Rattles it home over Charles. 3-point lead, 59-56, 9.5 to play in the game. Tania Page now with 24 points. Lewis zigzagging around the top of the circle. Now Charles comes through the lane. Now Jones at the right elbow, left elbow. Get my right to my left messed up. Driving down low, Smith fouls Jones. And there the athleticism and the quickness of Stephanie Jones is really causing Penn State some problems inside.
Alicia Smith's had to deal with a lot of folks in there. You got Shakira Austin, great athleticism. Took Jones there, the brute force of Brianna Frazier. And she's going to get a breather here, and I'm sure is going to get a quick tutorial here on the different matchups she's facing in the last 9 minutes.
So Jones tries to tie the game with the free throw. On the way, and good. We are tied at 59. First time we've been tied in a long time. Penn State has battled and fought off every little run that Maryland has thrown at them. We'll see if they can do it this time. Travasio Green hands it to Carter. Carter, who's been really held in check offensively. Pull-up jumper from 18. There it is. Jump shot from the left wing is up and good by Amari Carter, and Penn State retakes the lead 61-59.
Tania Page, a great shooter, but nobody has better body control on this team with a shot than Amari Carter.
McDaniel on Lewis. Lewis brings it to the near side. Now to Watson. Watson high post. Kayla Charles spins in the lane, puts up a shot.
Ooh. Lauren Ebo was just staying vertical, and she got called for a foul.
I got to tell you what that is. That's called an anticipated foul.
Yep.
She purposely went vertical and only vertical, and you could see it plainly from here. And Bexley Wallace will get her first minutes in the game for Penn State as Ebo picks up personal foul number 4. Charles, free throw is up and good. 61-60, 8.5 to play.
Well, heck of a time to get your first entry into the ball game, but Bexley Wallace is going to be thrown right into the fire here. She's got to come up big.
Second free throw is good. We're tied at 61, 8:29 to play. Down floor quickly, Kamaria McDaniel can't get the shot off. Now kicks it back out to Carter. Carter gets a screen from Wallace, goes around the screen, hands it to Page. Page to Wallace, a bad pass across the lane, picked off by Jones. Jones gets around, drives inside, and it's got to be, oh no! The only thing I can think of is Page didn't get out of the arc.
I think that might be it.
I'm going to see this on the replay. Well, they're not going to be able to see the feet. Tania Page doesn't believe the call, but they're calling a blocking foul on Tania Page. And I think Coquise Washington is getting the explanation that she was not outside of the arc.
Yep. Well, no charge half circle right underneath the basket.
61-61. Free throw by Jones is up and good. Jones, to me, is one of the valuable players on this Maryland basketball team. She now has 16 points. And at 6'2" is a matchup nightmare. 63-61, Maryland takes the lead with 8:05 to play in the game. Amari Carter gets the ball into the hands of McDaniel. Now to Travasio Green. Into the hands of Page. Page behind the back dribble. Shot clock at 8. Page, a long three-pointer, is an air ball and batted in by Travasio Green. And ahead of the pack is Charles. Charles with the left hand up off the glass and good. A 4-point lead for Maryland, 65-61.
Penn State tried the quick counterattack, but it has to peel back.
Here's Travasio Green. Three-pointer from the corner will not fall. The shots are not falling, and that's making a big difference in the way this game is turning for Penn State. Near corner, Kyla Charles. Down low to Frazier. Frazier spins around and can't get the shot to fall. Ahead of the pack to McDaniel. Head fake, three-point shot on the way, no good. Rebound by Watson. Watson off to Lewis. Lewis brings the ball into the front court slowly. 6:50 to play in the basketball game. 65-61 in favor of Maryland. Shanice Lewis on the far side. Top of the circle, Blair Watson, three-point shot, no good. Nice box out by oh, come on. And a tough foul, Bexley Wallace battling Brianna Frazier, and they call the foul on Bexley Wallace. Lauren Ebo and Alicia Smith back into the game. Wallace and Travasio Green check out.
Well, Ebo with 4 fouls, Smith with 3. Charles, the only Maryland player with 3 fouls.
There's a bad pass by Frazier, throws it out of bounds, trying to get it in to Jones. So Penn State gets a turnover, and Penn State needs a bucket here. Saya Frazier will check into the game for Penn State, and Kamaria McDaniel will get a rest.
And Frazier's got 3 fouls too, but she could be very key on the defensive end for Penn State down the stretch.
Put Tania Page with it, and draws the 4th foul on Kyla Charles. A lot of real questionable fine line calls that could go either way going against both of these teams.
Yep.
Mikesell in, Charles out.
That's the thing. You look at the total fouls in the game. Penn State's had more fouls called than them, 16 to Maryland's 14.
They get it into Frazier. Frazier covered by Lewis. Page now covered by Watson. Penn State a little sluggish right now. Carter comes around a couple of screens. Oh, nice job splitting the screen. Pull-up jumper in the lane. Missed a little 10-footer. Rebound by Lewis. 6:05 to play in the basketball game.
6-0 run for the Terrapins. Penn State 0 for their last 4 from the field.
On the far side, Carter, top of the circle to Frazier. Frazier for Maryland, that is. Lewis with it, wraparound pass down low. Jones in traffic, puts it up, no, and rebound. Oh, they're going to call another foul against Penn State underneath the basket, and it's going to go against Ebo, and she's going to foul out. No, they're calling it on Page.
Wow. I saw her in the vicinity, but I'm not quite sure what she did. I thought, like you, I thought it would be Ebo's 5th.
Well, Ebo thought it was Ebo's 5th. Tania Page is like, I wasn't even near the play.
You know, fouls are even in this game, but not in this quarter. 5-1 against the Lady Lions.
Free throw by Frazier on the way. Off the back of the iron, no good. You got to be careful here with a not so astute free throw shooter. You get long rebounds and easy to get offensive rebounds off of those.
Page and Frazier, one of them is going to have to box out the shooter.
Second free throw is good 5-point lead, 66-61. Penn State just simply needs a bucket. And that's easier said than done.
They've gone over 3 minutes without one.
Carter against Meixel. Hands it to Frazier. Frazier thought about the three. And now they're going to call a foul on Jones as Ebo is fouled. That's only the second team foul against Maryland, so a non-shooting foul. Carter to inbound. Gets it into Frazier. Here comes Page around a couple of screens. Takes it down low. Tries to draw contact. No foul called. And the ball goes out of bounds off of Maryland. 24 on the shot clock. 5:22 on the game clock.
That was Tenaya just taking the ball right into the three Maryland players. And like you said, looking to draw contact.
Page comes around a couple of screens. Might have got away with a walk and did not get away with a walk. I thought she shuffled her feet. And the call is made. And Kamari McDaniel's going to check back in the game. Going to give Tenaya Page a rest.
Now Taylor Meixel back in the game too. So you've got 2 point guards out there for Maryland, but it's going to be Lewis handling it.
Here's Lewis driving, then cut off by Frazier. Down low to Jones, knocked away, and a tie-up is called, and this alternate possession will belong to Maryland. Shot clock at 20, game clock 5:11. 66-61 in favor of the Terrapins. In the corner, Blair Watson, quick three-pointer on the way and good. She's got a sweet stroke. And she knocked that down. Kamari McDaniel trying to drive, dribbles it off her foot. And out of bounds.
Well, Maryland now on a 10-0 run.
69-61, Maryland with the lead. We're at the 5-minute mark. Jones comes up to set a pick on Frazier to get Lewis into the front court. Penn State with Frazier, McDaniel, Ebo. There's a bad pass intended for Frazier from Meixel. It goes out of bounds, and that turns the ball over to Penn State. Another break in the action, 69-61, a 10-0 run, as Joe said, for the Maryland Terrapins, and they've come from 2 down to 8 up. We'll take a break. We'll be back. More coming your way right after this. This is Lady Lion basketball from Learfield. 4:45 remaining in the basketball game. Penn State now down by 8, 69-61 after leading for most of the game. And let's see how our UPS scouting report has played out. Joe, it's pretty much as you said.
Yeah, pretty much Maryland has been able to be dominant inside. That hasn't so much been the case in this game. Penn State's been able to keep pace. They're shooting 39.3%, 7% better than Maryland's opponents usually have. And Maryland right around their season average. They're at 46.3% from the field. The rebounding in Penn State's favor, or in Maryland's favor, 46-25, 14-8 on the offensive boards. But Penn State has been able to get to the line more than Maryland usually allows. However, Penn State just 10 of 17 from the charity stripe. But again, Maryland only 15 of 23 themselves.
If you'd have told me Maryland's holding the board advantage of 46-25, I would think this game would be out of sight.
Yep.
Not even within Penn State's grasp, but it is. And we'll have to get some buckets here somehow for the Lady Lions because that 10-0 drought has given Maryland an 8-point lead. Penn State will have the basketball. Watson, Frazier, Jones, Charles, and Lewis for Maryland. Carter, Frazier, Carter, McDaniel, Smith, Ebo, and Page for Penn State. Maryland comes out in a 2-1-2 trapping full court defense. Slowed Penn State down. Amari Carter misses the jumper from the left wing. And Penn State drops back on defense. Their shooting woes all of a sudden continue.
Oh, for their last 5.
Here's Kayla Charles. Jump shot over Alicia Smith. That was a great shot. 10-point lead now. And Alicia Smith, as Stephanie Jones on the fast break gets back to tip the ball out of Smith's hands and out of bounds. Alicia Smith out because Charisma Ortiz in for Penn State. into Tania Page. To Carter at the top of the circle. 21 on the shot clock, 4 on the game clock. Amari Carter, three-pointer top of the circle, no good. Rebound by the Terrapins. Here comes Lewis down the floor. Bounce pass to Charles on the right wing, covered by McDaniel. Top of the circle, Jones. Jones puts it on the floor, drives inside, little drop step, no good. Rebound on the missed shot by Kamari McDaniel.
That's her 8th.
She's all alone. McDaniel three-pointer. That will not fall. Penn State continues to struggle from the field.
That's 7 shots in a row without a make.
Boy, it seems like 20.
Yeah, it certainly does. Over 5 minutes without a point.
Lewis to Charles. Charles to Frazier. Far side Lewis. Charles trying to post up, could not. Nice job by Page to get over. Here's a drive by Lewis, no good. Ebo, strong rebound. Outlet to Carter. Carter to Page. Page down the center of the court. And Blair Watson draws a charge, and Coquise Washington is not happy, and I don't blame her.
Not at all.
So Maryland gets the ball back on the turnover. Kyla Charles will do a little housekeeping, wiping up the moisture on the floor.
She does a little bit of everything.
Jada Green back into the game for Penn State. Charisma Ortiz checks out. And bounce to Watson. Watson back to Lewis. Penn State in a 1-2-2, three-quarter court trapping defense. Lewis gets it over the line, over the midcourt stripe to Frazier. Now back to Lewis. Lewis near side Watson. Watson to Frazier. Frazier, 15-foot jumper is no good. And a foul is going to be called on Watson going over the back of Tania Page. It's only the third team foul against Maryland, so not shooting. 71-61, Maryland with the lead. 2:38 to play.
Penn State needs points on this trip down the floor.
Amari Carter down the floor. Ebo looking for the diagonal pass. It's not there. Here's Page. Page gets a screen from McDaniel, double teamed, and the ball is loose. And Maryland comes up with it. And what do we have? A timeout called by Brenda Fries as Penn State was a little out of sorts right there. Maryland has picked up their defense here in the fourth quarter, and that's made a difference in this game.
It absolutely has. Turnovers in this fourth quarter, 5-2 in favor of the Terrapins, and 5 turnovers in the last 6.5 minutes for Penn State. 0 for their last 7 from the field as well. And I could sense what Tania Page looked like was trying to do on a couple of occasions, drive to the hoop. She's so good at drawing fouls, getting to the line. So at least if you're cold from the field, you can get points from the free throw line. But it hasn't worked out. Some calls have gone against her, or haven't been made, and Penn State now finds themselves down 10 points.
Alicia Smith tried to check into the game, didn't get to the scores table in time, so she'll have to wait. Maryland with the basketball. Watson, Jones, Lewis, Charles, and Frazier on the floor for Maryland. And they're in no hurry to push the ball down the floor. Blair Watson, lob pass down low to Jones, double team, gets out of there with it. Charles with it. Charles takes it down the lane, lays it up and in.
Oh, they give her the basket.
A little continuation there, boy. Amari Carter picks up the personal foul, and Jada Green will check out, and Alicia Smith checks in. It's a 12-point lead now, 73-61, 2:03 to play in the basketball game.
Yeah, looks like in this one, it's been a game of runs back and forth, but the biggest run comes last, and it comes from the Terrapins.
Free throw by Charles, up and good, completes the three-point play. 13-point lead for Maryland, 2 minutes to play in the basketball game. Amari Carter gets looking for a screen from Alicia Smith. Far side, they go down low. Lauren Ebo has her shot blocked by Frazier, and Frazier gets the rebound. Frazier stands 6'3" and really has the ability to get off the floor, and she showed it there. Far corner, Watson back outside to Lewis. Lewis to Frazier. Frazier left side, Charles. Maryland going ahead and just running the clock down a little bit. Lewis tried to go inside, knocked away by McDaniel, and then Alicia Smith throws it away, and it's stolen back by Maryland. They get a fresh 30.
And they're just going to work the ball around.
1:10 to play in the basketball game.
These two teams play again this year down in College Park this year.
Lewis with it to Watson. Watson three-point shot on the way and good. 57.2 seconds to go. It's a 16-point lead, and the game is much closer than what this score is going to indicate, Joe. I think that's important to note.
Absolutely. I mean, it's an 18-0 run from Maryland, and yes, they will come away with a victory in this one, but Penn State, they needed to play a full game, and they pretty much did it. Just some offensive woes down the stretch, but you can't take away from what Kamari McDaniel did. It was all over the court, 16 points, led the way with 8 rebounds as a guard against one of the top rebounding teams in the country. Tanaya Page with her usual great game, 24 points. She was 10 of 16 from the floor, did everything she could in this one. And good to see Jada Travasio Green back out there, 5 points in her return.
Hit the first shot she took.
From long range.
Penn State will be on the road New Year's Eve. And again, I'd like to find out who the rocket scientist is that schedules almost every game early in the day except ours.
Yep.
Not that I have plans on New Year's Eve,
well,
to be honest with you. But they will play at 7 o'clock at Indiana at Assembly Hall in Bloomington. And then on the 3rd, they're back home with Wisconsin. Then on the 6th, they go to Rutgers, and that's always a tough place to play.
Oh.
Jada Green has it in the far corner, takes it down low, misses the shot, rebound Alicia Smith, and she is fouled inside. And let's see who the foul goes against. It will be on Jones. Jones picks up the personal foul. Saya Frazier back to the scorer's table. 51.2 seconds to go, 77-61. And Alicia Smith to the free throw line where she is 2 for 4. Alicia Smith 0 for 6 from the field. And now make it 2 for 5 from the free throw line. Jada Green checks out. Saya Frazier in for Penn State. Free throw by Smith. No good again. Boy, things really aren't going well if Alicia is not making her free throws.
No, best free throw shooter on this team.
Kyla Charles brings the ball up the floor against the competition. And a 10-second violation as they took their time, took a little too much time bringing the ball down the floor. 40.6 seconds to go. 77-61 in favor of Maryland. Penn State goes offense for defense as Jada Green checks back in for Saya Frazier. Tanaya Page to Jada Green. To Carter, top of the circle. Now to McDaniel. Far side, Jada Green. Deep three on the way, no good. Rebound by Charles. Charles hands it to Lewis with 25 seconds. Shot clock is off. And Kamari McDaniel still trying to knock the ball away. Kyla Charles comes over, takes the ball, and will stand there and hold it, and Penn State will not foul, and that will be the end of the game with 10 seconds remaining. Maryland survived, let me say, because Penn State threw a lot at them, and this is why they're the 4th-ranked team in the country. They're able to overcome some toughness.
They've got a great amount of talent. I mean, Kyla Charles, all of a sudden, here she is, 23 points as the game ends, and even though they were back and forth with the Lady Lions here at the BJC, they came up with the plays they needed, especially in the fourth quarter. A 21-4 margin in the fourth, a lot closer than that.